I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about what if my ex reaches out
Oh my.
for the holidays.
That would be a gift.
Woohoo, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be the ultimate relief, right? Because when you're going through the holidays, it's like probably the most challenging time of year to be going through the breakup.
Besides an anniversary.
Yeah. Because, you know, you're seeing love and families and all the special things that you're supposed to be doing, going to look at Christmas lights and special Christmas events and all kinds of things with your partner that you would have done or reminded of last year.
Yeah.
And so you see all these things and it just kills you unless they reach out. Because let's face it, if they reach out,
You feel better.
Feel a hell of a lot better.
You feel a lot better.
Right.
Right? And, you know, we covered this in another video extensively, but if your ex doesn't reach out, it doesn't mean that they won't ever reach out. It just means that they aren't ready to reach out right now.
Right.
So today we want to talk about what if your ex does reach out?
Right. So many of your exes might use the holidays as an excuse. You could say a reason.
An
to
direct.
Exactly.
To use the indirect direct.
To reach out and connect. Others may be doing it because it's a culturally appropriate thing. For certain cultures, Christmas is huge, holidays are huge. And so they might have grown close to your family and just think it's a proper, polite thing to do, or might think it's rude to not wish you a Merry Christmas. So it can be very difficult to identify what your ex's intentions are. However, in this video, we're going to cover how to respond and how to manage this because it can be extremely confusing.
Yeah.
You might be like, what do I do? They just texted me. I did not expect this. Or what does this mean? How should I respond to this? So, we
it's
figured
shocking.
we'd cover it. Yeah.
It's shocking. I mean, even if you've been looking at your phone 50 times in the day and they do reach out, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they actually did reach out, right? Because a lot of times it's been months since you've heard from them, right? So we want to talk about some of the things to do. First of all, we're going to say what not to do, which is number one, don't ignore your ex.
Yeah.
No.
Okay? There are some coaches that will tell you to ignore your ex. I don't know how you're supposed to repair a connection when you ignore somebody. Does that make any sense to you?
They threw you away like the trash.
All right?
I think that's fair to ask.
I think it's fair to ask too. Yeah.
Right? So, Margaret, would you recommend ignoring your ex?
No. If somebody cares enough about you to reach out, I think it would be disrespectful to not acknowledge. You're not going to violate their privacy, which they asked you for, so you haven't done anything wrong. Okay? So don't ignore your ex.
Right, and it's also a bid for connection. I
Yeah,
know we've
a
used
bid,
this.
that's right.
We've used this term. This is also a term from
Susan Johnson.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's basically them reaching out their hand to reconnect with you, and you ignoring them would feel like a rejection to them. And it might be tempting because you might want them to feel how you feel. You might be tempted to ignore them, keep them waiting for extended periods of time because you might still hold resentment or bitterness towards them. However, if you are hoping to get them back and to rekindle that relationship, it will take a little bit of humbleness and a polite reply.
Yeah, you know, if you ignore them, think about this. What if you ignore them and they don't reach out again? Okay? Does it mean that they don't care about you or not want you back? Maybe, or maybe they're just too scared to get rejected again.
Yeah.
So you got to think about how that would look if they reach out to you and say Merry Christmas and you don't reply. Even if they had ignored you before, you want to do your best to be an adult and be mature about it, especially if you're really trying to have a healthy connection with somebody. So, you don't want to overwhelm. You kind of want to find a balance, which is challenging to kind of say in a broad video, right? We talked about this earlier. It can be challenging where we're giving out a broad video to share with you guys, but you want to be polite, right? You don't want to overwhelm. You want to kind of be cordial, kind of keep it short, nothing too much if they send you a text message, because really you don't know why they're reaching out.
That's right.
Okay?
Yep.
You don't know, is it an indirect direct? Is it because they're just feeling like guilty, that they feel like if they don't reach out and be polite that, that they're mean or cruel or hurtful, and maybe they just don't want to repair it with you, but they feel like I should say Merry Christmas to this person. So you don't know what their intentions are in first. And so you got to kind of gauge what's happening. Don't be so eager either way to handle this. Kind of look closely at the clues, because it can be difficult to read what their intentions are. A lot of times exes will hide their intentions because they're scared too.
They're scared too.
And also along that same vein, don't read too much into it. So with your hopeful heart, you might see that message and think, oh wow, maybe they are thinking about getting back together. This is my chance to bring it up, to try to talk about our relationship. I would ease on the side of caution with
Absolutely. Yeah, don't overwhelm them, like
Right.
Craig says.
And I know we've been talking about their intentions, what it might be, but it might be a gray area. They might still be feeling ambivalent. They might be writing that message because they're thinking about you in the moment. Maybe they're not wholeheartedly back into reconsidering a relationship. And so if you were to come back with something that might overwhelm them, maybe it's, wow, I miss you so much. I'm so happy you reached out. I've been thinking about you this whole time.
When can I
don't do
see
that.
you? Let's have coffee tomorrow.
Exactly. Then it can definitely overwhelm them, especially if they're not fully ready to try again. And there's the other side of the coin.
But if you do reply, and if they are just unsure and might get there eventually, then not replying would not be the right thing to do. So
Right.
do it, but be cool. Somebody said to me, I gotta be cool. Yeah, you gotta be cool.
One of the things that I really like is, if somebody says Merry Christmas, you could just say Merry Christmas back. And then you could just say something like simple, like, how are you?
Right.
I really like, how are you? Because it gives the person an opportunity to kind of show their cards a little bit. In other words, if they say good,
Period.
then that's where you leave it.
Go on about your
Right?
day.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to continue
Yeah.
trying to connect with somebody that gives me that kind of answer.
Right.
But if you feel like they're opening up and sharing, oh, well, I'm at grandma's house and everybody's here and my nephew Timmy asked about you and we were thinking about last year when we played Connect 4 and you cheated or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So if they're opening up and they're giving you something, it shows that they are wanting more connection, something. They may not be all in, don't think that, but it could be that they're kind of like, let me see how this goes, right? And so I really think that if you just say, how are you to the person, it allows them to kind of just share
Right.
Right.
what's going on.
And they can say more or not.
Yeah. I
Up to
mean,
them.
if this is what I'm saying where you have to gauge. If you feel like it's a short answer, I'm good, things are good, just wanted to wish you Merry Christmas, then I'm going to leave it alone.
Right.
But if I say, how are you, and they start to open up, now it's looking good. Now I'm liking where this is going. And so now, if I feel like within a short amount of time, I'm not going to do anything more than like 4 or 5 messages, I'm going to say, maybe we could get together and catch up. Something very casual.
If it's going well.
Exactly. Not if you get the good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
If you feel like there's some engagement going on and they're trying to have some kind of connection with you and vibe with you on some level, then I'm going to say, hey, you want casually, maybe we could get together and catch up. And I want to see because ultimately that's really how you're going to repair it. Okay? Not through text messages, not on the phone. You really want to do it in person. And obviously, you don't want to overwhelm and all those things, but ultimately, if you're going to create attraction again, I think you have to do it with the person.
Right, right. I also wanted to add, what I liked about how are you or how are your holidays going is that it's open-ended, and also it's quite vague, as you mentioned. So we're not talking about asking details of their personal life, asking details about their dating life, just something open, a conversation starter. So
It allows them to it kind of puts the ball in their court a bit,
Yeah.
because if they are really interested in talking with you, then they're going to give you a good answer.
But open-ended questions are magical.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then you have the issue of if their family reaches out to you.
Which is completely possible, especially if you've grown very close to their
Yep.
family.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because you care about those people too. And a lot of times you're like desperately want to do like a shakedown for information. Tell me what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he saying about me?
Right? You want to know everything that they know.
Right.
Has he
Give
been
me all the
depressed?
juice.
Has he been depressed?
Yeah. But you have to be very, very careful, because all it takes is one family member to say it to it could be a family member that you trust that says it to one that you don't trust. Now it gets back to your ex,
Right.
and there you have it. So be very careful about what you say to any family members. Be polite, be cordial, be happy to hear from them, wish them happy holidays, all those things.
Right.
Short and simple.
And I think you're probably more inclined to hear from the family, especially if you spent many years or were married. Maybe your families merged during Christmas and you would have like a Christmas gathering together, or it would be at your partner's house, something like that. They might have even gotten you a gift. But just remember, polite, simple, cordial, no details. I think you'll be in the clear. So try more on the safe side than not.
I was just going to say, around the pandemic, we keep hearing the phrase, an abundance of caution. We did this out of an abundance of caution. So hold that phrase, an abundance of caution. Less is more sometimes in this case.
Right. And these are our tips just on how to respond. But also remember that this is a sign that they are thinking of you.
Yes.
And it does show that they care. And we have several other videos on if your ex doesn't reach out on Christmas, and we do talk about this, but you are likely a very important part of their life. So of course they're going to think about you on Christmas. And so the fact that they went as far as to wish you a Merry Christmas, I think is telling.
Yeah, even if it doesn't go anywhere, it still shows that they care about you enough as a person to reach out to you.
Right.
And that's not easy for them to do either, believe it or not. So ultimately, if they reach out, we want you to be careful, because you don't know what their intentions is at the beginning, right? It could be to be polite. It could be because they've been looking for an excuse to reach out and now they have the holidays, but you don't know. So you want to be careful and not overwhelm. But if you feel like the connection is going well, like I said, if you feel like there's a bit of a connection, then you can casually say, hey, we should get together and catch up. Now, if they say, I don't think that's a good idea, and that could happen, then you just simply say, no worries, let me know if you change your mind.
Yep.
Nice and simple. Now, you can kind of ease on your own anxiety knowing that the ball is in their court. You've let them know, if you change your mind, give me a call, and they can do it.
Right.
Right? And now you don't have to worry about reaching out and when you're going to reach out or how you're going to reach out, because if they reach out, it's because they want to get together.
Right, and I think you've also honored them in a way by accepting their holiday wishes.
Yeah.
And you're also being respectful of their boundaries, your own boundaries. So,
Either way, look, the holidays don't necessarily make or break a relationship getting back together.
right.
It doesn't mean your chances are better or worse. Maybe it just means your chances are lower right now because they're not interested in repairing it right now. But that doesn't mean that they can't change their mind in the future. Now, that doesn't mean that they will change their mind in the future, but you have to understand, we hear about stories all the time that people come back after years, people get back together after years. As a matter of fact, Margaret, we talked about somebody today.
Yeah, I had someone contact me this week that I spoke with 3 years ago.
That's right. And it's interesting because when I saw the name, I thought, I wonder if it's that same person from years ago. And when Margaret came tonight, she said, and I knew exactly who it was.
Exactly. And not only that, they got back together, which we didn't know.
That's right. I did coachings with the guy, several coachings with the guy years ago, and you did with her.
The woman, and she called me.
Yeah. And so we hadn't heard from them in years.
Yeah.
And now when we hear from them, they've been back together.
Right.
So.
And they're doing better. So that made our day.
Yeah, it really did. So just understand that even though the holidays feel so overwhelming and challenging and upsetting and it's especially difficult, it doesn't necessarily mean that your ex won't come back or miss you or think about you as well.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So hopefully you found this video helpful. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful, please sign up.
And of course, Coach Victoria is here training.
I will be here.
And you'll be able to get a coaching with her in the near future. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.